Libra, welcome to your weekly horoscope for April 13th to April 19th, 2026. My name's Adina. I'm an intuitive astrologer. Libra, this week, everything is happening in your relationships. This is a seventh house activation, which means we are talking about partnerships, commitment, boundaries, and the way you show up with others. But here's the truth, this is not just about them. This is about you, reflected through them. So we start this week off April 13th with Mars forming a conjunction to Neptune in Aries in your seventh house, while Venus, your chart ruler, is in Taurus, your eighth house, forming a sextile to Jupiter in Cancer in your 10th house. And right away, you are navigating between confusion in your relationships and support in your deeper emotional and professional world. Now, Mars conjunct Neptune in your seventh house can blur the lines in your relationships. On the highest level, this is compassion, spiritual connection, and the ability to connect deeply with someone. This is empathy. This is understanding. But the shadow expression can be illusion, projection, misunderstanding. You may not be seeing someone or something clearly, or they may not be seeing you clearly. Boundaries can feel very unclear, and actions may not match words. And so, your strategy here for this day is to slow down in relationships. Don't assume, don't idealize. Let people show you who they are through consistent action, not just words. Now, at the same time, with Venus and Taurus, which is in your eighth house, forming a sextile to Jupiter in your 10th house, this is deeply supportive. This is emotional depth, financial alignment, and support in your career and public life. Now, the highest expression of this energy is that you are building trust, intimacy, and stability in both your emotional and professional life. This is aligned partnerships that support your growth. However, the shadow expression can be becoming overly dependent on others for validation, security, or direction. So, your navigation here, Libra, is to stay grounded in your own value while connecting to others. Then we get to April 14th, and we have Mercury entering Aries, activating your seventh house even further. And this is where communication in your relationships become more direct. On the highest level, Mercury here brings clarity, honest conversations, and the ability to address what needs to be addressed. However, the shadow side is arguments, reactivity, speaking from emotion rather than intention. So, your strategy here is to communicate, but do it with awareness. Not everything needs to be said in the heat of the moment. Then we get to April 16th. This is a major turning point in your relationships. We have Mars in Aries forming a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius, activating your seventh house and your fifth house. This is transformation in relationships that is deeply tied to your desires, your creativity, and your sense of joy. Now, on the highest level, this is passionate, transformative connection. This is you stepping into relationships that align with your authentic self. But the shadow side here can be power struggles, control, drama. So, your navigation here is to stay rooted in your truth, not in reaction. Now, at the same time, we're also going to have the sun form a conjunction to Chiron in Aries. And this is, again, in your seventh house. This is deep healing around relationships. Now, the higher expression of this energy is that you are healing wounds around partnership, rejection, abandonment, and imbalance. This is you learning how to show up differently. However, the shadow side can be feeling triggered, feeling hurt, or reacting from past wounds instead of present reality. So, your strategy is to take responsibility for your healing. Don't project your pain onto others. Then we also, on the same day, have Mercury conjunct Neptune in Aries, also happening in your seventh house. This adds another layer of confusion to communication. This is not the day to have final conversations or make major decisions in relationships. Let things settle. Then we get to April 17th, and that brings us to the new moon in Aries in your seventh house. And this is a new beginning for you around relationships. This is the reset of how you show up in partnership, what you're available for, and what you no longer are willing to tolerate. On the highest level, this is aligned, intentional connection. But the shadow expression can be rushing into something new without clarity. And so your navigation here is to set intentions, but let things unfold naturally. Then we get to April 19th and we shift the energy a bit deeper. The sun enters Taurus, moving into your eighth house. And this brings focus to intimacy, trust, shared resources, and emotional depth. Now, on the highest level, this is building deeper, more meaningful connections. This is emotional and financial stability. However, the shadow side can be fear of vulnerability. And so, your strategy for this day, Libra, is to be open, but at your own pace. Now, we also have the dynamic Mars Saturn conjunction on this day, which is taking place in Aries, also in your seventh house. This is where things get serious. Now, the highest expression of this energy can be, commitment, boundaries, and long term stability in relationships. This is choosing partnerships that are real and sustainable. But the shadow side can be feeling restricted, feeling tested, or facing the reality that some relationships cannot continue in the same way. But Libra, this is not punishment, it's alignment. Libra, this week is about you redefining your relationships, not just about who you're with, but how you show up. Your relationships are evolving. And so are you. Libra, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helps you navigate the energy for this week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you align with my energy and enjoy my content. And I will connect with you in the next one.